King's fan favorites. Please let us know if you recognize any of them in the chat, and we'll be back shortly. Thank you so much, Edison, for having us. We hope you enjoyed our performance. Enjoy the rest of the program, and happy Hispanic Heritage Month. Bye-bye.
Bienvenidos. Welcome to Southern California's Hispanic Heritage Month, 12th annual. I'm David Valadez, or David Valadez. You guys might know me or have seen me before. Those who like to watch all those entertainment or gossip shows, I'm on El Gordo y la Flaca on Univision at 4 p.m. I'm the LA-based correspondent. I'm just honored and thrilled that I'll be here with you guys for the following minutes, just showing you a bit of what's the good stuff to do in Southern California. I mean, just a bit. You guys just saw the talented Carmen Molina, great musicians, the flamenco, that you just can't go wrong. They're so talented, young individuals who they have that. I mean, they're very. I mean, I was looking at them and I was just stunned to see how well they can perform and put that little show together for us here, celebrating the Hispanic Heritage Month. This is the 12th annual, like I said, and here with Southern California Edison. And I gotta say, I'm very proud to be an Hispano, a Latino, especially celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. I'm honored and thrilled, like I said, to be here with you guys. And of course, this month, I mean, aside from my work that I get to experience and travel through all Southern California, there's a lot of festivities, there's food, parades, and a lot of fiesta. We love the fiesta, us Latinos. And here in Southern California, there's a local business in the city of Montebello, California, that it's called the Boulevard Market. It's an 8,500 square foot indoor and outdoor artisan food hall that it's a great experience. And we actually have with us Barney Santos from the Boulevard Market to tell us a bit more about his concept and about the delicious food that you can find at this location.
So hi, my name is Barney Santos. I'm the founder and CEO of a company called Gentify, and this is our first project. It's Boulevard Market. So Boulevard Market is a community food hall, and we focus on providing an environment for people to come together in the community to eat together, to learn together, to grow together, and to essentially launch businesses together too. So how we came up with the idea for Boulevard Market was, to be honest with you, about 6-7 years ago, we moved to the city of Montebello, and we noticed that, there's not really much to do in the city activity-wise. And so we also looked at the downtown and saw it was like in disarray, broken windows, empty storefronts, graffiti everywhere. And we thought, this is a predominantly Latino community, and it's, we kind of really deserve better, and we deserve nice things as well. And so we just thought to ourselves, what do we do to create a place where the community come together to get a sense of pride of ownership, but also stimulate the local economy and also accelerate the growth of a downtown. And that's kind of how the idea started to form, initially as a seed of an idea. And then we were traveling, we're going to Europe and going to Mexico City. We're looking at how food halls, how communities develop food halls to create space, right, for the community to come together. And so we knew that we wanted to do something around food and community building. And then thankfully we found a model in downtown Las Vegas with the Downtown Project with the CEO of Zappos. And we emailed Tony Shea and responded and said, we love your idea, come over. And he invited us. All expenses were sort of covered in relation to stay and hotel. Showed us the entire way Downtown Project worked and how they build community through investment in local. And we loved the idea, and so we took that idea, and we started building a company called Gentify, and our first development project was Boulevard Market. Boulevard Market gives back to this Latino community by sort of being representational of who we are in an authentic way. So we give back by showing up in a very authentic way for the community. So, from the music that we play, from the food that we have curated here, to the programming, right? So the events and activations that we have here, all of it is centered around what it means to be a Latino, our culture, our community, right? And but also on top of that, we have an incubator program. So I care heavily about economic development and from the ground up. And so, having that as my background, I used to run the Center for Entrepreneurship at Cal State LA. I knew how big of an impact it is within Latino communities to build wealth for themselves. And so I wanted to provide a platform for people to do that. So we built an incubator that takes first-time entrepreneurs in the food industry and incubates them for 2 years. And so we provide them with access to capital, coaching, advising, mentorship, resources to essentially, help them build themselves up for a 2-year period and become bankable in the eyes of, lenders. And then the idea is then spin them out after 2 years and help them find a second location and their permanent location, hopefully within the city of Montebello, so they can then start building their business, in a more formal way. We've done a really great job of spending a lot of time curating the space. For us, it was really important to have a space that had great food that was familiar to the community, but elevated to an artisanal level, right? That was affordable. So, we started out with Cafe Santo, which is a coffee shop from Oaxaca. The owners are from Oaxaca, so they have amazing Oaxacan coffee. They've been written up in LA Times and Eater. We have Vichos, which is Salvadorian Pupusas, amazing. They started off as food truck owners, 2 food trucks. This is their first storefront. And we have Perez Cantina, which is mariscos and seafood, owned by Brett and Lucy Thompson. And then our incubator, we have Los Taquero Mucho and we have Nola. Both of them are their first time opening up a storefront. Los Taquero Mucho, artisanal tacos, elevated, like cochinita pibil and cremita, which is like a cream sauce with chicken with pomegranate seeds on it. Just handmade tortillas, is phenomenal. And then Nola, which is amazing Cajun cuisine. They've been featured in LA Times, Eater as well, and so they've been really heavily written about as one of the best Cajun places in all of Los Angeles. The bar that my wife and I own, which is called Alchemy Craft, so we focus on craft beer and craft wines from all over the region. La Crosta, which is wood-fired pizza, which is Jason and Heather, amazing family. They started off selling wood-fired pizzas on the sidewalk in Whittier. And we were able to work with them, found them some investors, and they opened up their first storefront here. Now they have a second location in Uptown Whittier. And then the Chicken Coop, which is fried chicken sandwiches, chicken plates, chicken taquitos, chicken dish, you name it, they have it. And they have now 3 locations. It's all over ranging from Alhambra to El Monte to Whittier and Downey now, and then Montebello. So 4 locations actually. So yeah, it's extremely important for our community to see themselves represented in the spaces that they sort of like go to. There's too few places that can touch on who we are as a community without stereotyping us. And so a lot of times you see businesses pop up and you'll have, and which is okay, but you know, I personally don't subscribe to it, having like conchas everywhere or like a painting of Frida Kahlo on the wall. And like, to me, when I think about the Latino community, I think we're so much greater than the sum of our stereotypes. We can be so much, you know, we are more than that. And so, you know, my opinion, it's about really pushing the culture in a different direction, because a lot of us see themselves in different ways. And so I wanted to provide a place that was sort of representational of that aspiration, of that person who saw themselves hanging out on the west side or hanging out in downtown, hanging out in a different state, but also in their backyard, in their neighborhood, in their community, because I think that we deserve nice things. And so I think honoring the traditions of who we are via music, via activations, via culture, murals, you know, we have murals from Latinos without having to like placate or pander to the lowest common denominator of stereotype. That's really what my vision and my team's vision was for this entire place. It brings me so much joy to know that we've created this location where people can sit in different parts of the courtyard and see someone they haven't seen in 10 years and be like so excited, that, like connected with someone, or meet somebody for the first time because they're both trying to share a table to eat a sandwich and they both hit it off and talk about, oh, we're both in this industry, or like we both have similar interests, and that happens here all the time. For me, that brings me the greatest joy, because I know that we're creating a place where people can feel connected to each other, where community can be born. And that was the whole purpose of this. And it brings me joy to see that happen as a ripple effect and impact the rest of the downtown in this city, where now you have creatives having launch parties, and we had a streetwear brand pop up recently, and you know, we're gonna have an art gallery come into the city, and there's like so much movement happening because, you know, this activation that took place here. And so that brings me the greatest joy, honestly. You know, stop by on the 24th of September. We're gonna have an amazing activation with Luluman and Wordiful to celebrate the downtown for Hispanic and Latino Heritage Month. We're gonna activate the whole block, have a huge block party about health and wellness. So we're gonna have yoga, we're gonna have live music. Viva Bonita will be providing shirts and clothing. We're gonna do sound baths in different parts of the street. And so like, it'll be a really fun activation. It's a big party, so come and enjoy yourselves here.
Thank you, Barney. And you know, I can't wait to go back. I've been to Boulevard Market several times. It's not far from home. I grew up in Downey, California, and Montebello, it's here just around the corner. And I can say that I just can't wait to be there. And of course, I'll say hi to you, Barney. But thank you. Let us know, what's your favorite restaurant? My favorite restaurant, I have a few. I gotta stick with my roots with Mexican food. I love going and trying different food, but there's 2 restaurants that I love going here in Southern California, called El Pescador en La Casita Mexicana. They didn't endorse me, they didn't pay me. It's actually very authentic Mexican food, and I love it. And I would like to know, what do you guys like? Can you guys share with us in the chat what's your favorite food? Then now we have a special guest. Like I said, we have John Cardona. He's from Colombia. He is raised in Orange County, but he has done so much for the community and for our people throughout the years. And he's just one of those persons that we just admire and we're proud. And I mean, he's here with us to tell us a bit about his story and what he's done throughout the years. He's traveled the world. He's helped many people. And John, tell us a bit about you.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our Bosch Kitchen. My name is Chef John Cardona, and I'm the chef trainer, regional chef trainer for Bosch here in Irvine Experience Design Center in California. Thank you SCE for inviting me as your guest chef for the Hispanic Heritage Month celebration. Today we have a very humble dish to bring to you from Mexico. It's a dish that has been brought to you by generation to generation grandmas, grandpas, your abuelos, your abuelas, home cooks do this at home a lot. Something very rarely seen in a Mexican restaurant in Mexico. And if it is, order it because it's very delicious. So this recipe, if you're familiar with enchiladas, which I'm sure a lot of you have had, you might get an idea where I'm going with this. This is called Holladas. And again, this dish has been passed down from generations to generations by your abuelos, abuelas, home cooks, etc. from Mexico. And it's pretty much the same concept as an enchilada, for the exception that the sauce is not enchilada sauce. It's going to be a bean sauce. Now, the beans that we're using here today are called mayocava beans, or canary beans, or Peruvian beans, or frijoles güeros. These beans are a lot creamier, they're velvety, they're buttery, they're really delicious, and they work really good with Mexican food. So I kind of prefer to use these beans rather than pinto beans, although pinto beans are delicious, and if you can't find the canary beans, you can definitely use pinto beans too. Now, if you don't want to make your beans from scratch, you can always use canned beans if you'd like. I wouldn't do that because I really love these beans and they're really delicious and they're easy to make. So all you would have to do is just soak the beans for 24 hours. You're gonna drop them in water with half an onion, depending how much you're using, and a piece of garlic in there. To make the beans, all you have to do is bring it to a boil. Then you're gonna drop it to a simmer, cover it with the lid, and leave it on there for about an hour. After an hour, give it a little taste and see where the texture is. They should be soft. And always add salt at the end. So you see that? We just came to a boil. And that was less than a minute. That was very quick. And now I'm just gonna drop this down to level 4. What we're making here is kind of like refried beans. However, we're gonna make it saucier. We're gonna add some liquid to it. I have some chicken stock here that we made in-house that's gonna thin out the beans. We're gonna mash them with a little potato masher that we have here, and we'll add some stock there to season and thin out your sauce. But we definitely wanna get this lard in there and fry the beans. And what's great, I want you to see that I have all this splatter going on here, and that's okay because this is gonna be very easy for me to clean up at the end. And we're just gonna mash about here. And you can see how creamy these are. And again, my favorite beans for any type of Mexican food or even this enfrijolada. I'm gonna drop the sauce right in there. The best way to do enchiladas or enfrijoladas with fresh tortillas. Now we're gonna drop our tortilla in the lard. Now, if you wanna go a healthier route, you don't necessarily have to use the lard, but if you are not using lard and just the beans, just make sure that tortillas are a little bit softer. Maybe put them on the top without any oil for a second just to soften them up. And the reason I like making my own tortillas for these is that it's thicker. If you look at the tortilla, it's a little bit thicker. So this is gonna withstand not only the lard, but also the bean sauce, and it's gonna allow you to roll them a little bit easier. I'm gonna drop them in there for maybe about 30 seconds or so. Just take it out, drop it in the bean sauce, all right? Put some of the beans right on top. Let it soak it up. Grab that tortilla, drop it right on here. Now we're gonna roll this up and stuff it. We're gonna add a little bit of cheese in here. And I'm using Oaxaca cheese. If you want to, you can also use mozzarella cheese or quesadilla cheeses. We'll add a touch of sea salt on top, some black pepper, and we're going to roll. We're going to drop these directly into our saute pan. And then we're going to continue this until we have 4 tortillas with beans and cheese here in our pan. Right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean up the station. I'm gonna show you how easy it is to clean, and then we're gonna go ahead and finish our enfrijoladas. And I have a microfiber cloth. And all I'm gonna do is just give it a quick wipe down because I'm still gonna use it right now. But we want this to be presentable, right? Consider this dish a canvas. You can do so much with this. I mean, you can stuff it with chicken, shredded pork if you'd like. If you want to go that route, the beans, you can add more spice to it, chilies. You can even saute some peppers in there if you want it a little bit spicier. However, we're going to put some sauce on top of this, some salsa that we made here in-house. I have a green tomatillo and I have a red chili paste type of salsa that we're making. But the last thing we're going to do here is we're going to top our enfrijoladas with the remainder of our beans here. But first I'm gonna add a touch of liquid to this so it can create some steam and melt the cheese. So you can actually do this also in the oven if you wanna do that. But today, for instructional purposes, we are going to finish this off on our induction cooktop. I do have a lid with me. We're gonna add some stock in here. Place this lid right on top. Leave this on level 9 for a good 20 seconds. I'm actually Colombian. However, I was raised pretty much my whole life around a Mexican cultured neighborhood. And my mom cooked a lot more Mexican food sometimes than she did actually Colombian food. So I found the love for Mexican food. I've traveled out there, and this recipe goes back about 8 years ago. My wife actually put this on the table one night. I'm like, what is this? This is so good. And she's like, they're enfrijoladas. I'm like, I've never heard of these. And I said, you know what? These are great. I've actually won a competition with this dish. You can also top them with eggs. They're good for breakfast. A fried egg, sunny side up, poached egg. It's good for lunch. It's good for dinner. It's good as a snack. I mean, it's good pretty much any time of day. If you wake up in the middle of the night and you're hungry and you have some leftovers, heat them back up. It's good for that eating too, if that's what you're into, I guess. But it's really good. I'm gonna open this up and I wanna show you. It's nice and melty, you see that? And that's deliciousness right there. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to actually get this plated. And we have an array of toppings here. We have queso fresco, we have cotija cheese, we have tomatillo salsa, we have a red chili sauce, crema mexicana, pickled red onions, cilantro. These are not traditional, but we do have some edible flowers here that we're gonna drop on there for color and making it pop a little bit. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna drop a little bit of queso fresco right on top. I'm gonna add some cotija cheese on top. And I do have the colors of the Mexican flag here, so that's why I am using these. So we're gonna go ahead and drop some green sauce on this. Cream salsa. Okay. Then we're gonna add some crema mexicana. Now we have our red sauce. Grab some cilantro. And this cilantro is not chopped completely. The cilantro is not chopped completely. It's actually just mildly pulled apart because I like the whole leaves in there. Then we're gonna grab some of these edible flowers. I really love these orchids here. They really brighten up a dish really nice. I'm gonna drop some orchids right in there. These gorgeous colors. And then we're gonna drop some of these pickled onions right in the center. Thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you, Southern California Edison. Bon appetit, enjoy your meal, and see you next time. Ciao. Adios. Buen día.
Thank you, Chef John. I mean, I'm impressed with the way you made those into Holladas. I want to be there next time. If you need a judge or someone to try them out, I'll be there. And the fact that you put that together with the induction cooktop, hey, thumbs up, bro. Very good job. And you make us proud as a Hispanic in celebrating with us the Hispanic Heritage Month. I'm very honored that you were part of this celebration. And yeah, not only Colombia, other countries in Latin America, and also in Spain, you know, all the Hispanos, they have great food. I mean, if you talk about Spain, Cuba, the Dominican Republic, El Salvador, Mexico, Guatemala, Argentina, I mean, everywhere you find those delicious food, and especially I think this month it's like another excuse we could go out and try different food and say, hey, we're celebrating the Hispanic Heritage Month. And but yeah, we're here with Southern California Edison, making this celebration bigger and bigger every year. We Latinos, as you guys know, we are hardworking families. My family, my ancestors came here many years ago, and my parents, they were raised here in California. I'm an LA native. I was born and raised down in California, but I've been all over the world. I was in Guadalajara, that's where my family's from, and but yeah, I'm just very honored and very proud of my roots and where I come from. And I think that this month we can not only share who we are, but also where we come from. And I think in my case, I'm from Guadalajara, Jalisco. We have great food there. We have great music, the mariachi, and of course, the tequila. That's where it comes from, Guadalajara. And just honored to be here with you guys, sharing a bit of what's our month. And yeah, just let us know in the chat, what do you guys do this month? What activities you guys do with your loved ones, with your friends, and what's the other good stuff to do? I'm gonna leave, but I'm gonna leave you guys with our MC, Alicia Del Valle. She's my good friend, colleague. I've known her for many years. Alicia Del Valle. She's also from Southern California, not far from down in California where I grew up. But yeah, I'll leave you with my colleague, Alicia Del Valle. Thank you for joining us. And I'm David, or David Valadez. Saludos.
Thank you, David, for the introduction, and hello to you too. It's been a long time since we connected, and it's so great to see you here celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. Hola, my SoCal familia, and welcome to Southern California Edison's Hispanic Heritage Month celebration. I am your MC, honored to be here with you, and we are going to help celebrate the contributions and successes of our Hispanic and Latino community organizations and businesses. Now, this year marks SCE's 12th annual Hispanic Heritage Month celebration, and the theme is embracing traditions, empowering our communities. Embracing traditions, personally, is so important to me. Just like so many of us, traditions like the strength and support of family, a very important tradition in my family. So is pride in our family history, which is why I am a very proud Mexican American. Traditions like working hard and sacrificing and pursuing your dreams, even the tradition of the desire for progress. These traditions are the foundation of why I was able to be the first in my family to go to college, graduate, and pursue my dream of being an anchor woman. Growing up, I didn't see anybody that looked like us, talked like us, and it was very important for me to pursue that, even though I was told no more often than I can count. Again, my family, those traditions of working hard, sacrificing, and the desire to progress. That is why I was able to be here, be in Los Angeles, and be with you all every morning. I will never take for granted my family and the traditions that have been passed down to me. Thank you. So let's get this party started, shall we? We have some great guest speakers for you today. They will be sharing their own stories and experiences of embracing traditions and empowering our community. But before we get started, we do have an important safety message to share with you. At Edison, the safety of its customers and community is always of utmost importance. So let's take a look at this safety message. Downed wires are extremely dangerous, so never approach anything or anyone touching a downed wire and call 911 immediately. Also, be sure to share this message with your friends and loved ones so that they're aware of the dangers. Our social media hashtags today are hashtag SCEHHM2022 and hashtag Hispanic Heritage Month. We invite you to post about your experience today using these hashtags so we can all follow along. Now, these Hispanic Heritage Month celebrations have been virtual for the past 2 years, so we didn't get a chance to see you all dressed up for the occasion. But that doesn't mean you can't show us what you got. Go ahead and post your photo on social media with the hashtags and we'll be sure to like it. Also, like SCE on Facebook and follow SCE on Twitter and Instagram. Now to the fun part, the opportunity drawing. From now until 11 a.m., if you would like to be in the drawing for one of the opportunity drawing prizes, just type the word prize in the comments. Type the word PRIZE in the comments. And the 10 lucky winners will receive a unisex handmade Mexican scarf from the Macarena Collection, a small business located in Cypress, California. The colors available are red, as shown on screen, and you've got gray, blue, and white. If you are one of the lucky winners, be sure to email your name and address by September 30th to scebusinesscustomerevents@sce.com. Once again, scebusinesscustomerevents@sce.com. Winners will be announced at the end of the program, and good luck. All right, our first guest speaker of the main event is Board Supervisor Victor Manuel Perez from the 4th District in Riverside County. Supervisor Perez has more than 60 pieces of legislation signed into law to help create jobs, jumpstart the local renewable energy industry, and make neighborhoods safer. His legislation focused on jobs, economic development, small business, education, healthcare access, infrastructure, renewable energy, transportation, air quality, environment, public safety, parks, technology, agriculture, water, and the Salton Sea. Let's welcome Supervisor Perez.
Hola, buenos días y bienvenidos. My name is Supervisor Victor Manuel Perez, and I represent Riverside County's 4th District. The 4th District covers the Coachella Valley, heads east to Blythe on the California-Arizona border, and south to the Salton Sea. I am proud to be from the Coachella Valley in Southern California, and from the city of Coachella, where I was born and raised. My parents are originally from Mexico. As a matter of fact, my dad is from El Distrito Federal, the state of Mexico, and my mother is from Tepatitlan, Jalisco, the land of our ancestors as well, the land of the Mexica. It is an honor to serve as the first Latino county supervisor on the Riverside County Board of Supervisors, a county of 2.4 million residents, and a county with a Latino plurality with 49.7% of the county who are Latino. I want to welcome you all to Southern California Edison's 12th annual Hispanic Heritage Month celebration. This is always a fun and great event and an awesome celebration. Why is it awesome? A celebration of diversity, the contributions of Latinos to our communities, and of the pride that we have in our culture and our heritage. Hispanic Heritage Month is historic. It's a month-long celebration that begins September 15th, which is the start of many anniversaries of the independence of the Americas, meaning the independence of many countries throughout Latin America. The 16th of September is El Día de la Independencia, Mexican Independence Day. It was a fight against slavery and for sovereignty. That event was significant to the history of California, bringing a new period in California's history and bringing change to the area that would become Riverside County. So I am pleased to say that the County of Riverside also officially recognizes Hispanic Heritage Month, El Día de la Independencia, in recognition of its significance to our residents of Mexican American heritage, of Latino heritage, and its impact on local history. With this rich history, I am also happy that in Riverside County we are all working to lead a bright future. One effort that we have initiated is starting binational affairs with governments across Mexico. That means, for example, as policymakers, working with governments like Colima, Mexico, or Jalisco, or for that matter, with Oaxaca. Bilateral agreements with as many states and counties as possible throughout Latin America is my goal, in order to better understand them and for them to better understand us. It is in times like these that we should learn from different cultures, accept everyone as human beings, and appreciate diversity. Thank you, Edison, for the opportunity to be part of your virtual Hispanic Heritage Month event. We appreciate having a strong partnership with Edison and renewable energy. We are working together on the Solar Valley Consortium with UC Riverside for our region to play a huge role in the energy future for all the residents in Southern California. I look forward to all the speakers and the fun presentations in store this morning. And congratulations to the awardees featured today. I wish you all a happy Hispanic Heritage Month. Adelante siempre.
Now to kick off today's main event, I am pleased to introduce the President and CEO of Edison International, Pedro J. Pissarro. In addition to running Edison International, he is the chairman of the board for Electric Power Research Institutes, vice chair for Edison Electric Institute. He sits on the board for Argonne National Laboratory, Caltech, and the Analysis and Resilience Center for Systemic Risk. Pedro represents the electric industry on the Secretary of Energy Advisory Board and co-chairs the SOB Innovation Working Group. In addition, he serves on the Electricity Subsector Coordinating Council and has served on California Governor Gavin Newsom's task force on business and jobs recovery. Pedro earned a PhD in chemistry from the California Institute of Technology, Caltech, and held National Science Foundation and Department of Defense graduate fellowships. He earned a bachelor's degree in chemistry from Harvard University. Please join me in welcoming Pedro J. Pissarro.
Buenos dias. On behalf of the senior leadership team at Edison International and SCE, I want to welcome all of you to our annual Hispanic Heritage Month celebration. Thank you for joining us this morning. Thank you to our MC, Alicia Del Valle, and to Supervisor Perez for kicking off the festivities. It's great to have partners like you who believe in improving the community that we live in, supporting small businesses, educating our youth, and doing your part for a clean energy future. Thanks also to our guest speakers for sharing their stories of how they embrace traditions and empower their community. Many of us have our own family traditions that may have been passed on from generation to generation. Last year, Edison International celebrated 135 years of service as your local energy provider. During that time, we have established many traditions, and I'm proud of our tradition of safety and delivering affordable and reliable electricity, our tradition of dedication and commitment to the customers and communities we serve, and our tradition of resilience and innovation. Through these traditions, we are empowering the communities we serve to adopt the clean energy technologies that will help decarbonize our economy, adapt to our changing climate, become healthier places to live, work, and play, create long-lasting business opportunities, develop the skills and training needed for the future of work, to pursue the STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math education that will serve as the foundation for the innovations we need to ensure a just and equitable clean energy future. Supporting students who have worked hard in school and are now pursuing STEM degrees in college is one of my favorite Edison traditions. We understand the value of education and the impact it can have, not just on a student, but on that student's family and the whole community. We also understand the value of a STEM education in bringing the technological challenges of economy-wide electrification. That's why we continue to invest in the next generation of leaders through our Edison Scholars program. Since 2006, Edison International has awarded more than $13.5 million in scholarships to 730 students focusing in STEM subjects. Over the past 3 years, on average, 39% of those scholarships were awarded to Hispanic and Latino students. I'm really proud of this program, so let's take a look at our 2022 Edison Scholars.
Each year, Edison International awards $40,000 college scholarships to 30 of the most dynamic and innovative high school seniors in Southern California Edison service area to pursue their dreams in STEM. We are proud to present our Edison Scholars.
Hello, my name is Hallie Allen.
Hi, my name is Eliana Murillo.
Hi, my name is Neil Azimi.
Hi, my name is Bradley Bennett.
Hi, my name is Xavier Gargan.
Hi, I'm Kiara Hersoja.
Hello, my name is Valerie Henriquez.
Hi, my name is Rodney Dawson.
Hello, my name is Spirit Chapani.
Hello, my name is Joseph Lee.
My name is Dennis Lee.
Hi, my name is Eric Lee.
My name is Eric Lee.
My name is Jennifer Lee.
Hello, my name is Fernando Matias.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Morales.
Hi, my name is Daisy Nile.
Hello, my name is Shiva Zircoye.
My name is Monica Powell.
Hi, my name is Kayla Fan.
Hello, my name is Jesus Plata.
Hi, my name is Kevin Robles.
Hello, my name is Fallon Rowerding.
My name is Jimmy Sauro Contreras.
My name is Abigail Sampson.
Hello, my name is Luis Sanchez.
Hi, I'm Charlotte Sinclair.
Hello everyone, my name is Emily Soto.
Hi, my name is Mitchell Velasco.
Hello, my name is Jacinto Gwen.
Your future is bright. Visit edisonscholars.com.
Congratulations to our 2022 Edison Scholars. These 30 high school seniors will each receive a $40,000 college scholarship to pursue their dreams in STEM. That totals $1.2 million in scholarships this year. If you know a high school senior who could benefit from the scholarship, please remind them to visit edisonscholars.com when the 2023 application opens in October. In addition to investing in our youth, Edison International dedicates at least 80% of our philanthropic giving to underserved communities, supporting programs such as education, public safety, senior support, mentorship, and environmental issues. Through community engagement and partnerships, Edison invests in climate resiliency. Since 2018, Edison International has supported Climate Resolve's Ready for Tomorrow grant writing assistance program. It connects disadvantaged communities in Southern California to climate planning, research, funding, and resources. SCE is proud to be a founding member of the California Resilience Challenge, and this program awards grants to local governments, tribes, and community-based organizations in underserved communities for climate adaptation projects that address wildfire, high heat, drought, and flooding. We are very proud to help make a difference in our communities, empower our youth, promote a sustainable future, and safely deliver clean electricity to our businesses and our homes. But we cannot do this alone, and it takes community partners like the San Gabriel Valley Conservation Corps, who is this year's Community Partnership Honoree. The Conservation Corps is a program that helps youth and young adults rebuild or revitalize blighted areas in their communities and natural environments. They provide training, support, and education to transform the lives of young adults. Let's hear some more about the San Gabriel Valley Conservation Corps and the amazing work that they do.
Hi, my name is Norma Quinones. I'm the Executive Director for San Gabriel Valley Conservation Corps. San Gabriel Valley Conservation Corps is a local 501c3 organization that focuses on youth development, youth leadership, and job training for youth ages 18 to 26 years old. We're located in the San Gabriel Valley and work with youth that live and reside in the San Gabriel Valley. Through the partnership with SCE, we have been able to accomplish working with low-income families and disadvantaged communities located in San Gabriel Valley. San Gabriel Valley Conservation Corps provides job training for young people ages 18 to 26. We provide them with hands-on job training, which is paid And additionally, we provide them with industry recognized certifications. So they're earning certifications like OSHA 10, first aid CPR, tool training, chainsaw training, everything that is getting them ready to work out in the workforce and getting them to be job ready. Our goal is to help them reduce any barriers to employment so that they can be job ready for their next employer. We work with a lot of employers who provide them with internship opportunities or hire them on, but they complete our program first. So we're teaching them the soft skills, like how to get to work on time, how to be a team player, how to communicate effectively, and then also, like I mentioned, the certifications. Not all of our youth will become tree planters or conservationists, but the skills that we're teaching them are helping them build their skill set, helping them build their self-esteem and confidence so that they know what an employer is looking for and they become employable. Embracing traditions and empowering our community is important because our youth is our future. We want to provide them with opportunities and experiences so that they can become more resilient with themselves, their communities, and their families. On behalf of the San Gabriel Valley Conservation Corps, the youth would like to thank SCE for this recognition today. We want to also thank our partners and our supporters and our board members for supporting SGVCC and its mission. Without you, all this wouldn't be possible.
Congratulations to the San Gabriel Valley Conservation Corps as this year's Community Partnership Honoree. Thank you so much for your partnership, for empowering our youth and young adults, and for teaching them the importance of conservation and community service. In closing, please enjoy the rest of the show with our other guest speakers, Eliana Murillo, Steve Chaparro, and Beatriz Acevedo. Stay safe and have a very happy Hispanic Heritage Month. Hasta luego. Now back to you, Alicia.
Congratulations, San Gabriel Valley Conservation Corps. Thank you for all you do to empower our young adults in the community. And speaking for myself and most of my family, we live and work in the San Gabriel Valley. So very cool. So our next guest is Eliana Murillo, founder and CEO of Element & Company, which includes an innovation venture lab, production studio, and consulting firm. Her mission is to amplify and invest in diverse small businesses, startups, and content creators. She also consults business and tech leaders on how to design culturally relevant products, marketing campaigns, and employee resource group strategies. Take it away, Eliana.
Hi, everyone. My name is Eliana Murillo, and I'm thrilled to be here with you to share more about why Hispanic Heritage Month is so important to me and why we're thrilled to celebrate it with you. I'm an entrepreneur in my community. I'm from Oxnard, California, born and raised in Southern California, and I'm a massive, hugely committed advocate for our community and the impact we can have when we support one another. I know that Southern California Edison has collaborated with many organizations in the community who are doing so many great things to support our community, our gente, and I think it's beautiful to come together to celebrate that today. As a way of background introduction, I'm Mexican-American, so I am from California. My family is originally from Mexico. We have a tequila company based there. We produce organic Alquimia tequila, and that is one of the different things that I do in terms of making an impact in our community through our business, through our different opportunities we have to make a difference. We use Alquimia as a vehicle to promote organic agriculture. We create jobs with that. We've been able to help girls go to school because we've been able to buy a bus for them, and keep families connected through the work we do by creating those jobs locally. And that translates into bringing a product to the market here where we're able to also support nonprofit organizations and different causes that matter a lot to us as a family. In addition to that, I'm a huge advocate for supporting diverse small businesses and startup entrepreneurs. And there are many organizations that SC Edison has collaborated with to make sure that people in our community have the resources, everything that they need to be successful. I'm really passionate about supporting organizations like these because there's so much we can do together. We can collaborate on so many different ways, so many different avenues for impact in our communities. Energy is one part of it, but there's so many resources that can be a part of that conversation as well. So one of the things I love most about what I do is working with entrepreneurs to make their dreams come true, help them refine their idea, bring it to market, make it something that can reach many different people who can benefit from their product or service. And I really admire that so many organizations in our community think that way as well, not just in business, but in terms of community impact. One of the things I love most every year is celebrating this, not only every month of the year, but especially during Hispanic Heritage Month, because that is when we can talk about our culture a little bit more intentionally, celebrate with others with us who enjoy it as well, and remind people that it's not just about music and the delicious food and the things that bring us together as a community. It's also about what we're doing to help community. How are we impacting others? It's about what we can do together to make an impact in the community and know in everything we do, who are we helping? That's something my mom always said to me. In everything you do, who are you helping? And that has driven a lot of what I care about in terms of the business that I do, in terms of the work I do in philanthropy. All of that is meant to help people. And we together can do so much, especially when we think about this moment, 1 month of the year. We get to celebrate our culture, celebrate everything we do in our community. And like I said, celebrate more than just the music, which we love, more than just the comida, the food and sazon, which we also love. But more than that, we can share how we're all connected, how we're making life better for one another and for those coming after us. Part of what Hispanic Heritage Month is about is celebrating who we are, who we've been. But I also believe in celebrating who we're becoming and where we're going. That to me is so incredibly powerful because we are the manifestation of our ancestors' wildest dreams. We are also the opportunity that they wanted for us. We get to take that baton and carry it further. And that goes for anyone of any background. Your family has worked incredibly hard to provide the life and the environment that made you who you are. And that can look different for many people. But we know that if we all do more together, where we've been can help inform where we're going. But we can catapult even more when we think about what we can do together as a community, as people invested in making our lives a little bit better every day. For the past 10 years prior to becoming an entrepreneur, I worked at Google, and I was in a corporation where I got to leverage our tools, our technology, our resources to help community groups as much as possible, to bridge that gap, the digital divide, make it about access. And that has informed so much of what I do now as an entrepreneur. I got to see what does it look like to make an impact, having these resources at a company level and connecting those dots to making sure that our community externally benefits as well. And now on my own, in community, in partnership with many organizations and partners and business partners, I'm able to do that at scale. And that's something I hope for all of us, is that we're able to do not just the work we want to do, but the work that we get to do, that we get to have the opportunity to do good things that help make life better for everybody. And I especially love connecting with people who are still at companies, just like I was, people who are working on the inside, who are learning how to best make an impact, how to support one another. With that effort, we can do so much more together. And that's what's powerful, is knowing that we have opportunities being within companies to leverage the resources that we have to make an impact, to also elevate leaders, people who are making a difference in the community, whose stories need to be told. There are so many people who are contributing to making this mission happen of supporting our community and advocating for it. And many often do it without accolades. They often do it without asking for credit, but we get to tell those stories. And so there's so many people at Southern California Edison, at these partner organizations that I know you're all collaborating with. There's so many people who are doing their part to contribute to making all of this possible. But we like to remind people, we're not just Hispanic once a year. We're not just Latino, Latin, whatever you identify as. We are who we are every single month of the year, 365 days of the year. So while right now we have this energy, we're really excited, we want to do more in community, my challenge to all of us is to think about how can we do that even more consistently every single day. It shouldn't take just 1 month for us to do this. It can be a commitment, not just a campaign. And so we can together decide what that future looks like. We're celebrating Hispanic heritage. Let's also think about the future in our community that is informed by who we are and where we've been. And now knowing what we want to become, what we can all do together, we can amplify our impact even more. So I invite you to think about whose voice can you elevate? Which business can you support? Which organization needs a little more love and care to do even more of the impact that they want? And not only that, but how can we collaborate more together day to day? And maybe there's some cultural differences. Maybe we're not always aligned on the same page. But the more we put effort into doing that, we can create so many incredible opportunities that are even bigger than what we started with. We are the sum that is greater than its parts, because we're all in this together. It really means a lot to see people of different cultures, different communities show out and support us during this month of the year when we get to celebrate. We celebrate you too. Let's all celebrate even more. And I love that, because that means there's more good vibes, there's more good energy, more good ideas. And maybe it's us supporting others. Maybe it's us collaborating and doing some cross-cultural support. We can cross-pollinate good ideas. We can learn from each other. We can learn so much from each other and really take advantage of the opportunity to expand how we think about community, how we think about our impact. At the root of so many challenges in community, often we have a lot of shared ones that allow us to find better solutions together. And let's not forget that our customers, our community organizations, they often reflect the cultures that we're trying to celebrate. So it is a strategic advantage to make sure that we are plugged in, we are listening and leveraging our perspective that we gain from just listening and learning how we can solve problems that may or may not reflect our own. It's a blessing we get to indulge in, and not just once a month. But for this month right now, I hope that you are inspired to, again, find connection points, find a way to impact community, find a way to listen more, find a way to add an idea, propose, don't oppose. Often throughout the year, things get challenging, we're in our day-to-day, but if we can welcome this as an opportunity to really think about what we can do to make a difference, because the problems don't go away, the solutions are there for us to create, and let's just marry the two. And in that, sometimes it means supporting people who are already doing the work, already in community, doing organizational work or doing their business. I consult startups and small businesses, but I also invest in some because sometimes that idea, that community needs a little more support. And we can find ways to do that in so many different ways every single day. Whatever that is for you, do it with intention, do it with gratitude, show love and support to the people who are doing great things, whose voices may or may not be heard, but you can help to amplify them. If I've learned anything, it's that our humility as a community is one of our greatest strengths, but it's also kind of our kryptonite. So if you see a Latino or Latina or anyone of our culture doing something great, can you do me a favor and talk about them, share them, post about them, tweet about them? And you know what? That's good karma. We'll do that for you too. We're here to celebrate. We are here to invite you to our gatherings, to celebrate our culture with you. It makes us so happy that you want to be part of this with us. And to mi gente Latina who are a part of this with me, this moment is ours. Make it what you want it to be. Shine as bright as you can, as bright as you want, because this is our time. And you get it once a year, get it every day. But I like that right now we get to be intentional about celebrating together. So thank you so much for making Hispanic Heritage Month special. You are all part of making it memorable every single year. And if you haven't done that yet, now you can. Let's begin to acknowledge and celebrate and do everything to make it count. Muchas gracias. It's incredible to be connected with all of you. And feel free to stay in touch with me. Feel free to follow me on social and tell me your story and tell me how I can support you. I'm here to support. I'm here to be in community. And I'm here to build with people who care about what the future looks like when it's diverse and bright and very exciting for all of us. Gracias.
Thank you, Eliana, for sharing your story of traditions and empowering our community. I noticed a common thread between all of the speakers today is the importance of family and traditions and how that bond was so important in shaping who we are today. Speaking of family, we have a husband and wife dance duo, Miguel and Jennifer Aguirre from Prestige Dance and Fine Arts, to show us some salsa dance moves. They founded the dance studio in 2011 and has since taught thousands the art of Los Angeles style dancing. If you've ever been to Stevens Steakhouse in Commerce, California, chances are you've seen them there where they hold their classes. Miguel and Jennifer truly believe that dancing is therapy, and they hope to continue to provide dance as an outlet for many years to come. So get up out of your seats, stretch, refill your cups or snacks, and get ready to dance.
Hello everyone, and thank you Alicia for the introduction.
Hi everybody, my name is Jennifer Aguirre. This is my husband Miguel Aguirre, and we are co-owners of Prestige Dance and Fine Arts. Today we're going to show you a little bit of salsa moves. A little bit about us. We met right here in the city of Commerce at Stevens Steakhouse 13 years ago. I came in for a salsa lesson from Miguel, and he's taught me everything I know. We've been teaching together ever since. So what we're going to show you today, Miguel, why don't you tell them what we've got for them?
We're going to be working with crossbody leads and right turns.
Check out today's combination. It looks like this.
No te equivoques que así como te quiero, así como te adoro, así puedo olvidarte. ¿Tú crees que porque yo me muero por estar contigo, tú vas a engañarme? No te equivoques que así como me muero, así como te adoro, así puedo dejarte. Y después te vas a arrepentir.
Vaya salseros and salseras, and that's the combination. Let's break it down, right? So let's go over our basic step. For the leaders, you're gonna start by going forward with the left, 3 steps to start and 3 steps to finish, right? So we're gonna be going left, right, left, right, left, right. Very nice. So make sure that the steps are not too big, but they're short. I would say like 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, right? So let's try that again. So we're gonna go 5, 6, 7. We go left, right, left, right.
I hope that you viewers watching us at home are paying attention and watching all of our steps, and hopefully you're not looking down at our feet because that's one of our no-nos. So we want to make sure, followers, ladies, we're going to go back with the right foot as our leaders are coming forward. We don't want them stepping on those toes. We're going to go back with the right foot to start. 1, 2, 3, forward with the left to finish. And we want to make sure that we're marking 3 steps to start and 3 steps to finish.
Let's try that one more time. Ready? So we're gonna be going forward. 1, 2, 3, 5, and 7, right? We didn't explain, but number 4 and number 8 is a pause, right? So we're not counting it for right now. So we're just going 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, right? So we're gonna move on to our crossbody lead. We're gonna start by going forward with the left, and I'm gonna move slightly to the side on my count 2, so that I can bring my body to the side on count 3, right? So we're gonna be going 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna go to the side, right? One of the things that we always talk about in class is try not to move forward too much, or try not to move to the side too much, right? For example, so if I go forward, I'm walking too much forward. If I go forward and to the side, I'm walking out of frame, right? So I need to stay almost in the same spot, right? So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, right? So, and then from here, for the followers,
we're just going to stick to our basic step. As a follower, we're going to read off of his signals. So we're just waiting for him to give us the first signal. And while we're doing that, we're doing our basic 1, 2, 3. Now I see that my partner's getting out of my way, and that's my first clue that I'm going to walk across to the other side. And this is what we call a crossbody lead. On my next step, I'm going to walk with my left foot 3 steps, 5, 6, 7, to get across my partner. So you'll see me walking with my left. I'm going to go walk and close using my left, right, left to get to the other side. Let's do it one more time, and then we're going to go over the leader steps for that part. So for my followers, we're starting with our basic 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So you'll see that your partner is still in front of you, which means we can't cross yet until we see that 1, 2, 3. Oh, my partner has moved out of my way. Now it's okay to cross. So I'm going to take my left foot and walk across 3 steps. Leaders, you can watch Miguel's step. This is 5, 6, and 7 to the other side. Why don't you go ahead and explain the leader steps?
yes, for the leaders, we're gonna go forward. Since we moved to the side, my next step is my right, and I'm doing 3 steps, starting with the right, left, right. I'm gonna move to the side, and I'm gonna follow my partner, right? So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. From here, I'm moving to the side. So this is to the side on 5, replacing 6, and then together on 7, right? Let's try it one more time. So let's try it from this angle here. So we're gonna go forward, basic. We go 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Very nice. So now we're gonna go forward into the half a turn. For the leaders, make sure that your body faces to the other side on your count 3, right? So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3.
And followers, we're facing forward. So we don't want to match our partner, but we're facing straight the direction we're going to walk.
There we go. So ask your partner to walk across, move your right, left, right to go to the other side, right? How about we try it from here?
Okay.
Let's try it from here. Basic step, and we go 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1 to the side, 5, and then 7. Right? Since we're connecting now, make sure that the hands are not too close or not too down, not too up, but make sure that the follower is comfortable and the hands are a little bit open up, right? That's gonna allow us to lead our partner to the other side a little bit easier, right? So we're
Let's
gonna
try
go
from the basic.
From the basic step. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, and then 7. Very nice. Anything you want to mention for the ladies, for the followers?
I think we're ready to move on to our next step.
Okay, so let's move on. So our next step is a regular right turn. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a slightly preparation, and then my hand up goes on 3, and then the turn happens, right? So this is we're gonna go forward. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna bring my hand up. Make sure that we're not using your thumbs. So just 2 fingers. For me, it's comfortable to use 2 fingers, and then from here, I'm turning my hand around. I'm stepping with my right, which is my right, left, right, and I'm giving my partner a regular right turn, right? Sometimes as the leaders, we tend to just look at our partner and we don't do any steps, right? So we have to make sure that we do those 3 steps to start and 3 steps to finish.
That's right, leaders. Don't get mesmerized by your partners.
There we go, right? So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. So we bring the hand up. For me, is on this turn, it's comfortable to go to the side instead of moving back. The reason why, because if I move back, I tend to pull my partner too much, right? So I'm stepping a little bit to the side and I'm coming back to the same spot.
Now, ladies, we're going to do our right turn on 5, 6, 7. A lot of times we think that we're doing spins on one foot, but we got a lot of time and a lot of steps to do them. So we're starting with our basic step. Remember, we're just waiting for those signals first, and until we get those signals, it's basic. So we're going to go back. 1, 2, 3. Oh, look, a signal. So a hand up is going to indicate that there's a turn coming up, and then thankfully my partner is able to point in the direction that my turn is going to go, which is going to be to my right. So now he's going to turn the hand over the head, and as I step forward, I'm going to go with my left foot. 5. My partner is going to help me turn by drawing that circle over my head, and as that hand goes over my head, I'm going to step with my right foot on 6 and finish with 7. So I'm stepping left, right, left, 3 steps to do that full turn. So let me show you one more time. We're going basic. 1, 2, hey there, signal. As I step forward, we're going to pivot, step, and come together on the end. 7. One more time. Last time.
Let's try it one more time. So you go 1, 2, 3, 5, and 7.
And then, ladies, once you're done with that turn, we can step back into our basic because we don't know what's going to happen next. So we just go right back into what we know. Basic step, 2, 3, and 5, 6. And then we can try it all over again.
So let's try it again.
Let's try it again.
Here we go. Ready? So we go forward. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. We move slightly to the side. We bring our partner around. We go forward and prepare. We turn our partner 7, right? And then we continue with our basic step, back and together. We move slightly to the side, open and step, 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 and open and in. Very nice. So what do you think? You think they're ready for music?
I think we should try it to music.
Let's try it a couple of times with music.
Here we go.
Tú crees que porque yo te quiero, porque yo te adoro, tú vas a engañarme. No te equivoques, que así como te quiero, así como te adoro, así puedo olvidarte. Tú crees que porque yo me muero por estar contigo, tú vas a engañarme. No te equivoques, que así como me muero, así como te adoro, así puedo dejarte. Y después te vas a arrepentir, si en otros brazos tú me ves feliz, y vas a querer estar conmigo.
Vaya salseros and salseras, you guys are officially salseros and salseras. Thank you so much for watching this class and keep on practicing.
Thank you so much to Southern California Edison for allowing us to participate in this year's Hispanic Heritage Month celebration. Visit our website at www.prestigedancefa.com for more lessons, and we'll see you guys on the dance floor. Bye.
Okay, do you all feel like going salsa dancing tonight like I do? And by the way, Miguel is having an all-white salsa night at Stephen's Steakhouse in Commerce next week on September 29th to celebrate his birthday. So throw on that white dress, that white sport coat, and let's all go celebrate with him. Okay, now back to business. Up next, we are honoring the recipient of the Gwen Diversity Award. This award is given to an individual or company which has exemplified a strong partnership and value with SCE and is a positive representation of its core business strategy of working with diverse suppliers, women, minority, service-disabled veteran-owned businesses, and LGBTQ business enterprises. This year's honoree is Pacific Coast Tree Experts. Pacific Coast Tree Experts is a full-service tree company serving utility, residential, and commercial clients. They specialize in the trimming and shaping of trees, as well as the removal of trees and stump grinding. Let's hear from them now.
Hello, my name is Armando Valdez. I'm the co-owner and CEO of Pacific Coast Tree Experts.
Hi, my name is Nicholas Pinedo, co-owner of the Pacific Coast Tree Experts.
Pacific Coast Tree Experts is primarily a vegetation management, line clearing, tree trimming and removal company, specifically that works around overhead utility power lines. We are a subcontractor to Utility Tree Service, and we work in the Santa Barbara district of the Edison company with crews assisting in other SCE districts for routine tree maintenance and tree removals. Pacific Coast has worked on the SCE system for approximately 14 years in this capacity, and we have approximately 140 employees working on the SCE system. We also support the Hispanic businesses such as vendors who provide tools to Pacific Coast, and we also outsource to Hispanic organizations such as the Hispanic Arborists Association, which provides training to our employees. Every year for the past 7 years, Pacific Coast donates work such as tree trimming, tree removal, shaping trees to the local Catholic private school and its church, which are both heavily in the Hispanic community. We've donated a new AC to the school's kindergarten class. We've donated tablets, electronics to the school to help with raffles and fundraisers. We've also donated traffic cones to the school that are needed for setting up student drop-off and pickup every day. Whenever we have the community outreach activities, our employees are also engaged. They come out, they bring out the cones, they pass out the tablets, the electronics, and they also come out and do all the trimming and the work for the trees in the school.
Every time we notify our employees that we got some activity to help out our community, church, schools, tree trimming, they get so excited. They all want to come in and help us out, and that's great. I feel great. I feel happy that we have a bunch of employees, all of them. They're great. They're helping us out. They help us out on the place that we are right now, and I'm real humble. I'm real happy, and thank you all guys for doing that for us. One thing that I really want to share with you guys is that down in my hometown or close to my hometown, Pacific Coast is helping out to build up a church, providing whatever it needs to start from the bottom, and we almost finished it, and it feels great on my heart and my partner's heart, and we're doing great. I think we're helping out the community as much as we can.
We're very grateful and humbled for this award. It has certainly been an honor being part of the Edison family these past 14 years, and we're looking forward to what the future holds.
Congratulations, Pacific Coast Experts, on winning the Gwen More Diversity Award. I bet Edison keeps you pretty busy making sure the poles and wires of their customers are safe. It's so awesome to learn about the growth of your business. Congratulations once again. Our next guest speaker is Sce Chaparro. He is the founder and principal at Culture Design Studio in Long Beach, California. Steve is passionate about helping creative leaders and organizations transform their workplace culture. Steve is also the creator and host of the Culture Design Show, a podcast that features conversations with the top leaders and thinkers in the creative culture space. Take it away, Steve.
Thank you, Alicia, for this introduction, and thank you, Southern California Edison, for inviting me to join you all for Hispanic Heritage Month in this celebration. It's an honor for me to be here with you all. I'm here today because I want to share my thoughts on why it's important to embrace traditions and to empower our community. First of all, let's face it, all around the world, all around the country, all around Southern California, we are dealing with many challenges today. I mean, political wars, for instance. They can get real nasty, whether it's at the regional, the national, or geopolitical levels. I mean, even today, there are senseless wars that are going on all the time. Social injustice. It keeps happening. And unfortunately, it comes to a boiling point way too often. Why? Because not enough change happens. The planet's climate. Even though our weather in Southern California, many could argue, is the best in all the world, we can admit that it's also changing. And the argument that whether we should do something about it, it can get heated, sometimes it gets icy. The world's population, think about it. Over the last 2.5 years, we have just dealt with a worldwide pandemic. This was the first time we've ever experienced this together. In fact, one of the ways that I see it, that this was the first time that we have ever experienced what I call collective grief at the same time. Think about it, the loss of loved ones, the loss of certainty, the loss of old way of doing things. And that doesn't even mention the economic uncertainty that we're facing today. How are we going to deal with inflation and recession? Again, this is an especially important issue for those of you that actually own businesses and lead companies. This not only affects you and your families and your companies, but also the families of your employees and your customers. This affects employment, housing, the cost of things, our supply chain, and even our retirement plans. All of that, and we're not even talking yet about some of the other challenges we face, like education, drugs, crime, financial literacy, and even digital exclusion, just to name a few. It's pretty obvious that while we share many of these same challenges, we often allow some of our different views, our different backgrounds, and even some of our different traditions to separate us. So how can we embrace our different traditions in order to unite us? Well, first, let me share with you a little bit about my story. I'm a fourth generation Mexican American. And for those of you that may know Spanish, my last name in Spanish, Chaparro, is actually slang for short. If you would actually see me in real life, you would actually say, that's a pretty good description for me. All the Chaparros unite. My mother was born in the southern tip of Texas, and my father was born in New Mexico. So you know, gotta love me some hot salsa. When they married, they moved to the Midwest, where my mother's family had settled years earlier as migrant workers. They worked in the potato fields, onion fields, they picked strawberries and blueberries. I was born specifically in Chicago, but I spent most of my childhood in the state of Michigan, where a lot of the rest of my extended Martinez family lived. We enjoyed a lot of things together. We enjoyed camping, riding ATVs, fishing, swimming at the lake, big Thanksgiving dinners with Texas-style tamales, and huge piles of gifts at Christmas and buñuelos at New Year's. My mom had 8 siblings, so you can imagine our family gatherings were quite big. We even had a family rite of passage where we would go and work in the blueberry fields with grandma to make memories with our cousins, to earn some money, and also to build some character. During my high school years, we moved away from Michigan over to Southern California when my dad was offered a new job. This new job that he got and the move to California, it represented a whole new chapter of opportunity for my family. It was here, though, in Southern California, that I learned more about traditions of my other Hispanic brothers and sisters from Mexico, from Central America, from South America, and the Caribbean. I learned an important lesson. We are not a monolithic group of people with the same views of the world. We all have unique perspectives, depending on what heritage do you have. Are you from a Mexican, Salvadorian, Colombian, Puerto Rican heritage? What part of the country did you grow up? Those that lived in Texas is very different from those in Michigan, Florida, or even California. And lastly, what generation do you represent? The immigrant experience is very different from first generation, which is also very different from the fourth generation experience, much like mine. While there are many traditions that make us unique, there are also many that unite us. Here are the things that I believe I've learned about what is common throughout Hispanic communities. We love to celebrate life events. Think about it. Baby showers, birthdays, quinceañeras, communions, baptisms, graduations, and weddings, just to name a few. But here's one thing that's really important. When times get rough, we band together. In fact, it's in the difficult times that we get stronger. We also appreciate the celebration of other people's wins. In fact, a win for one is a win for us all. We also have a rich culture spread throughout many different things: food, our music, our dance, our literature, and our arts. One of the things that we can learn from human history is that when one conquering culture sought to destroy the culture of another people, it would try to dismantle it and replace it with another. However, for us as Hispanics, rather than succumbing to a divide and conquer mindset, we will respond with a unite and empower mindset. In fact, this is a really amazing statistic. As of 2020, in all of California, in all of Southern California, Hispanics reached 39% of all residents in the state. That's an amazing statistic to know that we have a growing momentum that is coming behind our presence. That means that collectively we represent the largest ethnic group in the state. So here's what I want to leave you with. We have an opportunity to bridge between the power of our tradition and the empowerment of our future. With our population numbers, with our presence at the polls, with our purchasing dollars, and with our professional experience, we hold a power greater than ever before. There is the power of our culture, the power of our voice, the power of our votes, and the power of our dollars to help us make a change. Not just for us, but for the generations that come after us. So I encourage you to be empowered, to make a difference in our communities, with your businesses, with your leadership, and your culture and your ideas. We need you, the business community, to step into your strength. So I encourage you to take up this banner, not just for this month, not just for this year, but for every year that comes after. Be a bridge. Embrace the old and empower the new. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve, for that insight and for giving us something to think about. Our final award is the Clean Energy Champion, which is given to a company that has shown significant or remarkable savings through clean energy installations in partnership with Southern California Edison. This year's honoree is San Jacinto Unified School District, which serves approximately 10,000 students in grades TK through 12. San Jacinto Unified is committed to its mission to provide equity and access to ensure each student achieves high levels of learning while developing cultural responsiveness and social responsibility.
Good afternoon all. My name is David Pyle and I serve as the Superintendent of the San Jacinto Unified School District. On behalf of SJUSD, I'd like to thank Southern California Edison for recognizing our district as the Clean Energy Champion during this year's annual Hispanic Heritage Month celebration, where students from our community make up almost 75% of our student population. We look forward to continuing to build our partnership in the years ahead through embracing traditions and empowering our community. Thank you for such a special recognition.
My name is John Norman, currently on the board of San Jacinto Unified School District. And I'd first like to thank Southern Cal Edison and other members who have graciously awarded us with this award of using green energy and for renewable resources, etc. We on the board are proud to say that in our community, we try to sustain or maintain things as renewable resources, and we are proud to be leaders in that regard. And it's really exciting to be recognized for this award for the efforts that we have done over the past 5 or so years.
Hello, I'm Corey Lawson. I'm the Assistant Director of Facilities and Operation for San Jacinto Unified School District. And I want to thank you for the Clean Energy Champion Award for SCE for 2022. I just want to kind of go over some of the things San Jacinto and SCE has done over the past few years. And we have done LED lighting. We have with SCE, we've been part of the summer discount program through SCE. We have also replaced multiple HVAC units with high efficiency HVAC units and their maintenance program, where we go through and maintain all the equipment to their standards. Additionally, what we've done over the last few years is we were the first for the Sce Resiliency Center. We created a microgrid for our high school gym so that we can have a resiliency facility in case of emergency. And we are able to utilize our batteries and solar here at the high school. Also, what we just completed is, as you can see I'm standing next to, is our EV charging stations. We were one of the first for the SCE's Charge Ready pilot program to complete this project. And we also currently have applications for every one of our sites to continue on with the Charge Ready program. Again, I would like to thank SCE for this award and our continued support with our community and the San Jacinto Unified School District to be good stewards of our environment.
Congratulations, San Jacinto Unified School District as this year's Clean Energy Champion. Your district is an excellent example for other school districts to glean from to help meet the state's energy goals. All right, our next guest speaker is Councilwoman Jackie Casillas from City of Corona 1st District. Councilwoman Casillas was born and raised in the historic downtown circle of Corona and was elected to serve her hometown in 2018. Jackie has dedicated her career to serving marginalized communities, earning a reputation as an effective and collaborative leader. Jackie has led county-wide Latino voter registration efforts and has spearheaded countless initiatives to ensure access to high-quality, non-judgmental reproductive health care regardless of income or immigration status. Thank you so much, Councilwoman. Let's all welcome Councilwoman Jackie Casillas.
Thank you, Alicia, for the introductions, and thank you, SCE, for inviting me to participate in your Hispanic Heritage celebrations. I'm so honored and proud to be here with you. It is so important that we take a moment and honor our heritage and our traditions. You know, here in the city of Corona, where over 50% of our population identifies as Hispanic, we have some really rich, deep Hispanic roots. We're the former lemon capital of the world, and that means that we had, a lot of agriculture here and a lot of Hispanic labor actually traditionally helping to build this city that is flourishing on that history. And it is just, for me as a first generation Hispanic leader here in the city of Corona, it just makes me proud. It makes me proud to know that my community has been showing up and showing out in the city of Corona for generations. And so as a leader now on the city council, I feel a deep sense of honor and also, of commitment and responsibility to ensure that I honor that heritage and that I'm living up to those expectations. So tradition and our history is just, it's good for us. It's grounding. It makes us feel seen and included, and it's just a wonderful experience all around. There's no downside to inclusion. I hope you all enjoy the Hispanic Heritage Month, learn something a little bit new, participate in your own way, and find a way to honor and uplift those voices and experiences in the Hispanic culture. Thank you all so much.
Now it's time to introduce you to our keynote speaker, Beatriz Acevedo. Beatriz Acevedo serves as president of the Acevedo Foundation and is one of the leading inspirational voices and Latina entrepreneurs in the United States. She has dedicated her career to empowering and opening doors for the next generation of Latino leaders. She holds seats on multiple boards, including the 2028 Los Angeles Olympic Committee, Latino Community Foundation, Beneficial State Bank, and many more. She is co-founder of LA Collab, a collective impact group of entertainment industry leaders, professionals, and allies. She is also co-founder and chief executive officer of Summa Wealth, the leading fintech company devoted to increasing prosperity, opportunity, and financial inclusion for young Latinos via culturally relevant financial products, services, and content. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the celebration, Beatriz.
Good morning. Buenos dias. My name is Beatriz Acevedo, and I'm incredibly honored to have the opportunity to be a part of this event with Southern California Edison for Hispanic Heritage Month. I'll start with a story that changed my life even before I was born. My dad was an incredible man, and like many immigrant fathers, he was the first one to go to college in his family, and he was committed to doing anything he had to do to put himself through law school. Among some of his side hustles were being a custodian of the building where he lived at, playing billiards and boxing to make a few extra bucks, and writing speeches for the Mexican president at the time. The resilience and determination that we see in our community to be better and give your family a better life is a common thread, no matter what our country of origin is. People say you only need one person to believe in you to make it in life, and that was certainly my father. Before I was born, my parents lived in San Diego, and when my mom went into labor, he rushed her to the hospital on the other side of the border in Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico, so I could one day have the privilege of serving my country of Mexico as president. So with this, you can see how important it was for my father that my cultural traditions were front and center in my upbringing, and something that I now have proudly passed down to my own bicultural and bilingual teenage twins. Being a border girl gave me the opportunity to form my own hybrid identity, and being de aquí y de allá, from here and also from there, has allowed me to grow up with the best of both worlds. Sadly, this is not the feeling of everyone in our community, particularly the youth. Even when they are part of this 200% generation and being 100% proud of being Americans and also 100% proud of being Latinos, they are constantly asked where they are really from. So they feel as they never quite fit in the US, in their own country. And whenever they visit their parents or their grandparents' countries of origin, they are too American to fit in also. Belonging is a feeling that they long for, and it is a critical one for every human being. It's as critical as food and as shelter. Something important to remember is that even when we get our collective 1 month of celebrating our cultures and traditions with Hispanic Heritage Month, not all Latinos are the same. Aside from the differences from our countries of origin and acculturation levels, there are so many other layers to our Latinidad that we want celebrated and acknowledged. Understanding intersectionality from our diverse Afro-Latinos, Gaytinos, veteran Latinos, Latinos with disability, etc., is key to fully making everyone feel like they belong. Before I moved to the US permanently, even when I lived at the border, I don't remember there being a month to celebrate our Latinidad. We celebrated our cultural richness every single day. It wasn't until I moved to Los Angeles that I was exposed to Hispanic Heritage Month as a collective month to celebrate all Latinos once a year. That was definitely something different for me. And even when we only get a month, I'll take it. Some of my favorite celebrations growing up were Mexican Independence Day on the eve of September 16th, the eve of September 15th, actually, not Cinco de Mayo, and Day of the Dead. Our Independence Day, on Independence Day, my parents, my brother, and I would watch the Mexican president on TV give the same speech that was given on the eve of our independence. And my brother and I would recite it along with him by memory. Presidents changed every 6 years in Mexico, but the speech remained the same, always closing with 3 emphatic Viva Mexico, followed by the national anthem and colorful fireworks. This was always followed by an amazing meal my mom would spend a few days cooking. And it's a tradition that it is over 50 years in our family in 2 different countries. But I have to say that my favorite holiday of all time is hands down Day of the Dead. One of the most beautiful holidays from our culture, way before Disney discovered it and made it cool in pop culture. And we remember our loved ones who passed away. And this day also has a lot of food in the celebration as we cook our loved ones' favorite meals to feast on and honor their memories by putting their pictures along with things they liked in a family altar decorated with fresh flowers and candles. If you celebrate this in a cemetery, there is usually lots of live music being played as part of the celebration. Both of these traditions I continue to celebrate now with my teenage twins, Isabela and Diego, and with my Jewish Bostonian husband, who loves anything Latino culture and who has fully embraced everything about our culture. And nothing makes me prouder than to share our traditions with our non-Latino friends and my work colleagues. I even infuse my culture into traditional Jewish holidays. I'm actually already getting ready to welcome in the Jewish New Year with my Rosh Hashanah challah tres leches bread pudding, and for Passover, my roasted tomatillo matzah gefilte fish enchiladas are an absolute hit. But I think it's very important to carry our culture and our traditions outside of our home as well and into the workplace. I think it is particularly important to proudly be who you are and safely be able to bring your full, authentic self to work. In a time of the Great Resignation, and when Gen Zs, the newest generation entering the workforce, truly cares about company values and purpose, nothing will be more important in our quest to recruit the top talent than embracing their backgrounds and their culture, truly making them feel that they belong in our organizations. I've actually used my culture to build successful companies. One in the media space that made young Latinos feel seen, as most of our comments that we got on social media were, finally, a brand that gets me, or where have you been all my life, me too. And now with my fintech company, Summa Wealth, I use my culture and my traditions to make finance fun and easy to understand and highly engaging. We are at a really interesting point in time where America has never been as diverse as it is today. We are no longer a minority in many states, California being one of them. So leveraging the strong emotional connection that the nostalgia of how we grew up can bring to our employees, consumers, even to investors in my own company is something few people use as a secret and powerful weapon. California is the perfect reflection of what the country will be like in a few years. 2 interesting data points that speak volumes of why no one should underinvest in Latinos, no matter what company you are building are. Today, 1 of every 2 kids born in California and in New York are Latinos. Yes, 50%. And in the rest of the country, 1 out of every 4. And when it comes to deaths, let me give you a very visual example. For every Mr. Smith that dies, think that 1 cute baby Smith is born. No population growth whatsoever. However, in our community, for every, say, Señor Perez that dies, 10 cute baby Perez are born. You can see where I'm going with this, right? This is census data available to all. It will be mathematically impossible in a few years to really scale and grow any company without us. US-born Latinos are very, very young. They are 19 years on average versus 44 for non-Latinos. We are enrolling in college at an incredibly accelerated rate, entering the workforce faster than anyone, replacing retiring baby boomers. And when it comes to entrepreneurship, No one is launching more companies than us, primarily Latinas. There are actually two groups within our community that I would bet on all day long. The first is our youth, who are the navigators and the influencers of their family and their community. The youth have been translating the American ethos literally and figuratively since they were children, being the medical assistants, assistant lawyers, accountants, since a very early age for their parents. They have the power and they have the influence over their older family members and soon over their own children. So supporting them and empowering them supports all Latinos in our community. Latino youth is also very different from all other youth. Well, at my previous company, Me Too, we did a study with PwC, and we analyzed how diverse the friends were for the different ethnic groups. For white, for Black, and for Asian, their friends in its majority were just like them. The only group that was completely the opposite were Latino youth, which we found incredibly interesting. The majority of their friends were non-Latinos, and this answered our enigma of why we had so many kids consuming our content outside of our main target. Me Too reached 100 million uniques in the US, and we know that there are not 100 million Latinos living in our country, but they felt such pride in being able to share a part of their culture and their traditions, even if it was with a funny meme to their non-Latino friends, that was a huge part of our success. We were hyper-focused on our demo, yet through them, we reached all youth with content that was highly rooted in our culture and in our traditions. This is why when I hear companies saying that they don't want to lean into culture and traditions because they're afraid of alienating the general market, I have to laugh. Because the general market in our state is Latino, and very soon in the entire country. And if you have limited resources to reach youth, $1 invested in young Latinos reaches all youth versus $1 invested in other demos that primarily will only reach the same group. Something to think about when it comes to your return on investment. The second group that I'm incredibly bullish is on Latinas, who continue to thrive regardless of their circumstances. These are the strong and resilient matriarchs in our communities. They are no longer only the homemakers, but are becoming the primary breadwinners in our families, enrolling more than Latino men in postgraduate degrees and responsible for the majority of the purchasing decisions in our families. I mentioned earlier that Latinas are launching more companies than any other demo, even when at times is by necessity. Latina and Black women lost jobs faster during the pandemic than anyone else and have been the slowest to get rehired, even when there are more than 11 million unfilled jobs in America. Even when Latinas are the ones launching more companies, either voluntarily or by necessity, they are also the group with the least capital to grow their companies. And in the workforce, they are the least paid in their productive careers. As we all know, women have not reached pay equity in general, but Latinas need to work almost an entire extra year to reach parity with their white male counterparts. To put this into perspective, each Latina will not get paid over $1 million in their productive careers. And to retire, they would potentially have to work till age 115 years old to make the same amount of money at retirement than their white male counterparts. This is absolutely insane. I want to clarify that this is not because of the jobs Latinas do or the types of industries that they work in. Actually, the pay gap only gets wider when Latinas get more educated with post-college degrees. The data shows that even when Latinas go to an Ivy League school and graduate top of their class, they will still make about half of their white male counterparts that barely passed the class. I've given a lot of thought to this. I know there are so many things to fix in our system, and in the workplace. And pay equity is certainly one of them that we need to keep pushing for legislation to get better at this. But I still have a hard time believing that CEOs around the country wake up every day thinking, how can we pay Latinas much less than any other female group? One of my least favorite things in my cultural upbringing is actually one that only Latinas hear growing up. And this is, calladita te ves más bonita. When you are quiet, you look prettier. This is never said to the boys in our families, only to us girls. I fully believe that this, coupled by the immigrant mentality of keeping your head down, don't ask for more, and be grateful for what you are given, contributes greatly to Latinas being at the bottom of the pay gap. I was one of those girls that grew up hearing this from my mother and from my abuelita, my grandma. And to this day, I am incredibly uncomfortable asking for more than what is offered to me. So not all traditions are to be kept alive. This is certainly one that we should eradicate as fast as possible. And this is in part why I've made it my life's mission to support youth in my community with a big focus on Latinas. My father started a family foundation over 30 years ago in Mexico. He always had a really uncomfortable relationship with money. He flat out disliked rich people. So when he succeeded in his career as an attorney and as a writer, he made peace by giving, for the most part, everything he made to charity. Today, I have the privilege to carry on his legacy by educating, elevating, and empowering the next generation of Latino leaders at the Acevedo Foundation, in a chapter I recently opened in the US. My father wanted to make sure that every Latino kid had the opportunity of education without needing to have 5 or more side hustles as he did to be able to attend college. Aside from education, I have expanded our focus at the foundation to economic empowerment and access to capital. Some of the programs that we currently support are giving non-dilutive capital to LA-based Black and Latino entrepreneurs, along with mentorship to grow their companies, financial education that we know is critical in our community. We saw how we were not only the hardest hits with deaths during the pandemic, but also with economic hardship. It's heartbreaking to see how we are the biggest consumers of goods and services, yet we are also the ones with the least amount of savings for retirement. Only $1,000 for an entire family on average is what Latinos have to retire with. Another important focus for us at the Acevedo Foundation is workforce development, giving everyone in our community an opportunity, starting with the youth, that are not at the top of any recruiter's list: community college youth, opportunity youth from foster homes, or those that have been previously incarcerated, being victims of their own circumstances. One of the most exciting projects that we are launching, and I want to thank Southern California Edison for their support by volunteering during our lunch event, is our artificial intelligence-enabled digital platform, LTX Match, that will connect our community to jobs, to mentorship, to free professional services, financial and entrepreneurship classes, and much more. Just like modern romance works nowadays by matching you to a date, our platform will match our community to transformational opportunities. This will be free for everyone in our community to join. I am so grateful to be a Latina that was born into a loving family that always encouraged me to dream big, and also to have been given incredible opportunities in my professional career. I've certainly worked hard for them, but I fully recognize my privilege. We know that with privilege comes responsibility. My dad used to remind me that everyone has something to give. So don't think that because you might not have a foundation or a fund, you can't make an impact. Everyone can. Even if you have no money to spare, you might have a connection or a skill that somebody needs, even a word of encouragement. goes a really long way. I am proud of many of the cultural traditions I was raised with. But as I mentioned earlier, there are a few others that I do not want to pass down to the younger generations. Some of the ones I plan on keeping are my strong family values, honoring everyone before us who sacrificed so much for our success. Another cultural trait that I love about Latinos is our selfishness and generosity. Thinking of others before we think of ourselves is something I learned from my family and continue to value. And our pride in our work and our impeccable work ethic. Now, some of the traditions I fully vote to eradicate are not using our voice. Calladitas, no more. Quiet, no more. This is not serving Latinas anymore. Our scarcity mentality, thinking that if it was hard for me to make it on my own and no one really helped me succeed, I don't want to share my place with anyone else. And one of the worst ones, thinking that we are less because we are Latinos versus thinking that this is our superpower. I think this comes way back from when we were conquered and we would trade our precious gold for mirrors that seemed to shine much, much brighter. I actually have a story about this. A few years back, First Lady Michelle Obama organized a conference at the White House for female entrepreneurs. And a few of us were invited to speak about our experiences. When I was done, a Latina woman raised her hand really high and asked me how I was able to raise so much capital for my company. One, being a Latina. She was shocked that I could do it being a Latina. Second, having the accent that I had. And third, being so short. I was in shock. I really had no idea what to respond to her. But then it came to me. The way I did it was to not ever thinking of myself as less than because I was a Latina or an immigrant or short. Well, I'm not that short, I'm 5'2". The only time I noticed my height was when I took a picture with Magic Johnson, who invested in my previous company. And I thought, this guy is extremely tall. The point of the story is that for me, being different is a strength and not a weakness. Being different lets me stand out in a crowd. It lets me share a very distinct point of view from everyone else. And this gives me tremendous power versus feeling intimidated for being the only one in a room. I feel very empowered and I make sure to take up as much space as I possibly can. And that includes my loud, enthusiastic voice, my hoops, my embroidered clothing, and everything about me that makes me visibly very Latina. I don't keep my head down and I don't keep my voice low as I was taught growing up. I make sure my Latino presence is felt by everyone. Changing the narrative from grateful and quiet and proudly owning our contributions to this country, from GDP and population growth, which by the way would be negative if it wasn't for Latinos, to companies launched, workforce contributions, and educational attainments, to name only a few. They say that it takes a village, and we certainly have one with over 60 million Latinos in our country, plus our allies. We need to lean harder in the power of our community, pushing towards the same goal of success that drives us individually, but also for others. There is a special energy in giving that always comes back to you tenfold. Only when we truly leverage our collective power will Latinos succeed in benefit of all Americans. Thank you very much for inviting me today. And I can't thank you enough for all the work that you are doing to support the Acevedo Foundation. Thank you. Have a great day.
Wow, wow, and wow. It is definitely a virtual celebration, but so inspiring. I could go on and on about how motivated and inspired I am. And I hope that you all are just as inspired and motivated. A couple of comments. Okay, let's just start with Eliana. Okay, the power of her traditions from her family, so inspiring. And I'm definitely going to be checking out that tequila, but also the power that we have as a group, just like with Beatriz that we just had on. I was hanging on every word because she shows the duality, the diversity that we have as Latinos and Latinas in this country, and our buying power and our hoop power. I am so pumped up. And arriba las chaparras as well. Okay, 5'2", same here. And thank you to Steve Chaparro for sharing his inspiration and wisdom. All of our speakers, again, so inspiring. But I know what a lot of us have been waiting for as well. Let's get to the prizes, shall we? I'm going to be making sure that we get to everyone. And once again, thank you all for joining us for Southern California Edison's 12th annual Hispanic Heritage Month celebration. I am going to name the winners now. Look at just a couple of comments, shall I? Israel Marin, amazing, inspiring, motivated. And I think he was another one. Arriba los Chaparros. I'm right there with you. Thank you. Thank you. Alida, thank you for joining. Elena Leon, thank you. Thank you. So shall we get to the winners? All right, let's go. We have got Jacqueline Hernandez. Congratulations. Jason Pander. Congratulations. Siriaco Pinedo. Roberto C. Arnaud. Daisy Sanchez. Elena Nava. Amy Monguia. Meruelo Enterprises, Daniel Rocha, and I want to make sure I say this name correctly. Architeto. Please apologize if I mispronounced it. I definitely want to get it right. No disrespect. The point is you're all winners. Bravo. Congratulations. Now be sure to email your name and address to SCE Customer Events at SCE.com by September 30th. Woohoo, Meruelo, they're still with us. Meruelo Enterprises, thank you, thank you. And once again, Alida, thank you for joining us. All of our guests, it's awesome to be together, even if it's still virtually. Next year, maybe we can get together in person. That is the goal. Okay, so I think we have another presentation for you.
Thank you, Alicia, for the introduction. And thank you to our audience for joining us this morning. Today, you heard from each of our speakers about what it means to them to embrace traditions and empower our community. Over the past several years, I've had the privilege to serve as a trustee with the Mexican American Bar Foundation, an organization whose sole mission is to fund scholarships for Latinx law students attending college in the Southern California area. These include students from UCLA, USC, Loyola, Southwestern, UC Irvine, and Pepperdine. Every year I made it a point to participate in scholarship candidate interviews because every year I'm inspired by the stories of these students who've had to struggle most of their lives and are on the verge of becoming a lawyer. Their stories reaffirm for me the power of family and tradition and how it can serve as a foundation for pursuing a life set on new traditions, like going to college or graduate school, pursuing careers in areas that 50 years ago would have been unfathomable for a lot of these students. Here at Edison, we also value the importance of embracing traditions and empowering our community through our Latinx business resource group, Latinos for Engagement, Advancement, and Development, LEAD. This year marks LEAD's 30th anniversary and stands as one of the premier and long-standing business resource groups in the company. I've been fortunate to have the opportunity to be the executive sponsor for this group for the past several years. I've seen firsthand how it has evolved through the years. LEAD has supported many nonprofit and community-based organizations and has spent countless hours volunteering with youth mentoring programs, speaking at many events that support low-income and disadvantaged communities. In addition to our community work, we also provide support to our employees through mentoring, professional development training sessions, speaking engagements, clean energy workshops, book clubs, and networking events, to name a few. But don't take my word for it. Let's hear about these experiences from some of our current and past members.
Feliz cumpleaños, LEAD. Happy 30th anniversary. I'm so proud to be amongst the elite few to have held the title of Presidenta de LEAD. And as a future LEAD alumni, it has been my absolute honor and pleasure to lead this amazing board of directors, its chair people, and its strategic advisors over the last couple of years. LEAD's passion to support its Latinx employees and its ganas to see its members succeed in their careers is what first drew me to the organization. With the help of its early workshops, the executive speaker series, its season of service volunteer days, I learned a great deal about the positive impacts that LEAD could have not only on my career, but also on me personally through the wonderful people I met in this community. For the future of LEAD, I would love to see the next generation of leaders advance through the ranks of our LEAD organization and elevate the power and positive impact that we can bring to Edison and to our members. I want to see LEAD develop the next generation of Latinx leaders for Edison and continue to walk the talk towards diversity, equity, and inclusion. Thank you.
I joined LEAD all by happenstance after finding a LEAD flyer during my very first week here at Edison as an assistant. I asked my manager if I could join, and while he wasn't too familiar with LEAD or affinity groups, he gave me the go-ahead to join as a member. During my time as vice president and president of LEAD, about 80 to 90% of the board members obtained a promotion during their tenure. Now, I can't say these promotions were directly attributable to their role in LEAD, but I also can't say that they weren't. I think one of the most interesting days was speaking on behalf of Edison after winning a Latina Style Magazine award. Not just because it was the first time Sce was being recognized by the magazine, but because I was the only Latino on a Latina panel. Thank you, LEAD, for the opportunity, the memories, and experiences.
My name is Elizabeth Zelaya. I'm the former Business Engagement Board of Director from 2016 to 2018. During my time as a chairperson, I was promoted to an advisor role, and I currently am a manager of land acquisition major projects. And I think that LEAD played a big role in that. And I just want to say that, when we're in LEAD, there's so many things that you get to experience. And you always will remember the wonderful friendships. I just want to say thank you so much. LEAD has helped me in so many different ways, and I look forward to seeing LEAD continue to transform, many other individuals and advance many more careers.
Going forward, LEAD is in a unique position to shape the engagement of our Latinx community employees, as well as how SCE engages with our communities, or Latino communities, across our service territory. I still believe that LEAD's membership is an untapped resource that needs to be leveraged to address SCE's highest priorities, from electrification all the way to affordability.